Hello, Taurus. This is Solomon. I want to welcome you to your weekly reading for the week of March the 20th to the 26th of 2017. I wanted to remind you to check your March 2017 monthly readings that will be in the description of this video. We will let you know what's going on with you this month and how the energies may turn out towards the end. Okay, so from March the 21st, the sun will be in Aries, and that's activating your 12th house of secrets, closure. A lot of sorrow that you could be dealing with because of the 12th house. You may be dealing with endings, fear of losing and facing some kind of closure, saying bye to old jobs, relationships, and places you used to live. But to combat that energy, Mars did move into Taurus around March the 10th, which is tons of energy in your first house of self, taking care of yourself, looking at your patterns of behavior, your thoughts, things that may keep you limited and feeling restricted. So you may be overall feeling that sense of and desiring to reevaluate things. So let's get into Monday through Wednesday. The moon will be in Capricorn, and that's activating your 9th house of mental exploration, long distance travel, possibly road trips could be coming about, higher philosophy and learning, reading, and looking into spiritual subjects. So we do have the 6 of Swords in reverse. We have the Hangman as a major arcana, the Fool in reverse, the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, the 6 of Cups, and the 2 of Cups. So clearly here is showing me that there's something very strong. There's a connection that's strong on the outside of what's something that you can't really physically touch right now for some of you. And I do feel like for a lot of you, you can't move on, or you're having troubles with moving on mentally from any kind of pains, or maybe a certain place or relationship or whatever it is. And a lot of you may want to kind of jump into this new relationship or this new job or whatever it may be, or a new business. But you may need to take your time right now. And I do feel with the Hangman right there, there's need to surrender, not move things so fast, because it's not ready quite yet. Either you're indecisive about commitment, you're indecisive about which direction to take. And sometimes when the Fool is in reverse, there's a lot of risk taking, and sometimes gambling, sometimes not doing things in a right way, where there could be some dishonesty, where a lot of you could be trying to cheat your way through a certain process rather than do it in a natural sense. And this could come in many different ways, where a lot of people could be dishonest about how you need to apply yourself and actually work hard for what you want, rather than taking the escape route. So where the Ace of Pentacles is in reverse, there's a lot of money kind of falling out of your pockets. A lot of money could be going into different places where in your heart and mind that it doesn't need to go in that way. So there could also just be money not coming in fast enough. You may be working very hard at something, but it's not coming through as you'd like it to. So some of you could be looking for another job, maybe without a job, and there's this romantic connection that's coming about, where maybe your partner is not contributing to the relationship as though you would want them to. With the 6 of Cups, there could be some reminiscing about the past, good memories, good harmony, some give and take emotionally between you and another person. But right now, that connection is not strong. It's not as powerful as it could be just yet. Now, in the physical world, it's not, but I feel like spiritually, that something is there, that something has the chance and the potential to blossom into something new. But don't rush into this particular situation just yet, because there's some things that still need to be cleared out emotionally, maybe from you and on the other party's part as well. Some of you could be dealing with an Aries, the Fool's in reverse. Some of you could be dealing with a Pisces, the Hangman is there, and some of you could be dealing with a Cancer or a Scorpio as well, where the Cup energies. So I do feel like there's an emotional time, but also times to reevaluate and reassess when it comes to your money and your spending, your habits, and make sure that you're doing things legit and not any kind of underhanded activity. So those could cause blockages when we're not honest The universe is very aware of that kind of activity, so that could backfire via karma or whatever it may be, to say, you can find a better way to get what you want rather than taking this route. So just be careful of that energy, okay? So some wait and see approach when it comes to Monday through Wednesday. Thursday and Friday, we do have the moon in Aquarius, and that's activating your 10th house of career, public status, and business trips or plans that you may be thinking about taking. So we have the 10 of Swords, we have the Tower, we have the 4 of Pentacles in reverse, we have the Fool again in reverse, we have the Emperor as a major arcana, we have the Page of Wands in reverse. So here it does look like to me, for a lot of you, there's some experience that may come about, some kind of incident or whatever it may be. Sometimes it's incidents on social media where something has happened and you kind of see something like something tragic, something for a lot of you where the universe could be bringing in some kind of divine intervention to kind of break you up or break you away from an attachment, or to whatever it may be. It may be your surroundings, it may be a relationship, friendships, or whatever it may be. And I do feel like because of this letting go, a lot of you could feel hurt. There's some kind of pain, something has ended or will end around this time with that 10th house of career. It could be your career. Some of you are looking for a new job. And I feel like when it comes to that determination, well, it comes to letting go, then that determined sense becomes up within you to kind of make sure that you're feeling more passionate with yourself, more confident. Some of you could be having some insecurities that are going on, and I feel like you're determined to change those things about yourself. Where if you have trust issues, if you have trust issues with an Aries, some of you dealing with an Aries with the Fool there. Some of you may be dealing with a Leo or a Sagittarius as a fire sign in reverse. So there could just be say projects you're working on again where they're not going to plan, and then you're feeling a bit pessimistic. Some of you could be having children as well, where there is separation from you and your child, your wife and your husband, issues with children in the household. And maybe something happens around this time where you could be the one who initiates this kind of breakup or split up that happens. But the Tower comes in to say, smack dab, I have to let something go. Something comes in that brings about some kind of change, and you kind of moving on. So whether this is just sometimes it's temporary, it's to bring about space that's needed between maybe you and another person, or whatever surrounding you may be surrounded by. So I do feel like there's strength, there's power, and there's the some fortitude within you to go after what you desire. And even though you may be running into some kind of obstacles, I feel like you'll be strong enough to get through them and persevere as time goes on, especially within that 10th house of career. Okay, so that's Thursday and Friday. So Saturday and Sunday, we have the moon in Pisces, and it's activating your 11th house of friendships, long-term goals, and dreams. All right, so we do have the Hierophant as a major arcana in the upright position. We have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. We have the Four Swords in reverse. Justice is in reverse, and the Ten of Cups is in reverse. So say, for instance, if you are, it looks like to me that some of you could be married. Some of you could be in a relationship already, or another person is in a relationship, and there's still interactions with them, and there's still some kind of combative energy where another person or you are not willing to communicate just yet because of these influences from another party, where there could be that temptation to step outside the relationship where that it's not a healthy, well, maybe some of you don't know, but I'm here to tell you that that's not a good thing. So you have to kind of find some balance here, because justice in reverse does mean that there's lies, there's deceit, that there's negative consequences to what you are experiencing right now, and if you are involving yourself in that kind of situation. And with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, that means that there's karma is catching up with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, the Hierophant there, and Justice there. That means that the universe is trying to teach you some lessons, not to teach you in a bad way, but to bring about events where You could run against a lot more obstacles before you are to experience this happiness in a relationship that you want, because maybe you're still dealing with some things that you shouldn't be dealing with right now. So the Hierophant needs to be in a different position, which is meaning that you're not continuing to go down a road that you know is not working. That's because you believe it may be so, because your tradition may be there, because sometimes you may be stubborn in a way to kind of be strict into how you may vision how marriage may be, or how a relationship should be in a way, and you may be staying in the same kind of cycle instead of going against the grain, changing a routine or doing something different, stepping outside of a comfort zone. Because these things are your thoughts. You're constantly thinking about someone or something, and it's not allowing you to experience the fulfillment, the playfulness, the excitement, the positive energy, and the manifestations that you actually want. Those things that you want won't crystallize in the physical realm until you find some more balance within the situation, and that may reside around stepping away from someone who's already spoken for. And the Ten of Cups, that's unhappiness right now. I do feel like if you are in a marriage right now, some of you may not be happy with it. And if you aren't, why are you there? Why are you in a relationship where you're not happy, where you're not content, or where there's not fairness? You can continue to try something over and over again, but if it's not working, there's like I always say that, beating a dead horse. There's a certain amount of times, you can try and try again, but how many times are you going to try? I feel like that's that kind of scenario here where with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, you have to face reality in a way to know what you can change, what's in balance. And then, some of you can be dealing with a Libra, some of you can be dealing with another Taurus as well. And, that fulfillment and completion is just not there. You have 2 tens here. Okay, so something is not complete. Lack of closure is here, but I do feel for a lot of you may be looking for to get into more spiritual subjects, to kind of study a bit more, to read up on philosophy, or maybe some of you are looking for some counseling with your marriage or relationship. Maybe that's something that can help you out for sure. So it's not necessarily meaning to give up on something, but what's not working, what needs to be kind of severed, what ties need to be let go of. So from Doreen Virtue, the Romance Angels, we do have Worth Waiting For. Divine timing is at work in your love life. So this is that patience I was talking about, kind of waiting and seeing. Sometimes you may want to really rush to kind of find that intimacy right now. There could be separation with you and your partner at this time, but for the things that you want, for the relationship that you want, be patient. You may know that there's someone very specific who's for you, potentially new, or even if you're single right now and looking for something new, you kind of have to kind of wait, be patient for it. Express your love. It says go ahead and make the romantic gesture, opening up, reaching out, not holding yourself back. But if you are spoken for right now, that energy where it's not clear just yet, you kind of have to face that issue, and then kind of wait. Maybe some time is needed. Then you'll be able to open up and express yourself, and then you have trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith, so you have to trust that things will unfold in the way that they need to. You have to, do one thing at a time and not give in to worry and fear or any anxieties that you may be going through. So a lot of healing energy your way. I do hope that you have a fantastic week. If you would like a private reading, you can always come to me, find my Facebook page, or you can email me to set up something that's going to be specific for your energy, okay? Much love and much light, Taurus.